Welcome back to my Service Mesh how-to video series. In my previous video, I showed you how to install Service Mesh using the OpenShift console. Today, I'm going to show you how to install Service Mesh using CLI or command line interface. Here are the pros and cons of using CLI in comparison to using the OpenShift console. The pros include automated installation, so you don't have to go to the OpenShift console, point and click. All you need to do is just run a script to get OpenShift Service Mesh installed. And also you just run a script to start managing the policies of your Service Mesh. The cons regarding this approach is that it's not as easy compared to using the OpenShift console. For example, you have to create your YAML files to subscribe to particular operators, and also you have to create the control plane as well as the Service Mesh member role. In our case, because we're using four operators, including the Elasticsearch, tracing, CLI, and Service Mesh YAML. As I mentioned in the introduction, for each operator you're going to use, you need to create a YAML file for it. Let's look at the Elasticsearch YAML file. So here the kind is subscription, and the name of the operator is called Elasticsearch-operator. Channel means the version you're going to use. Stable is the latest stable version. And the source is from Red Hat operators, and the source namespace is OpenShift Marketplace. Now let us look at the tracing or distributed tracing or Jaeger. The name is called Jaeger product. Source, stable, etc. still applies. If you look at CLI, this time the CLI is called CLI-OSSM. So by this time you probably recognize that there doesn't seem to be any particular pattern you can follow regarding the naming of the operator. So your question is probably, wow, how do I find out about the actual name of the operator, and also the source and also source namespace? So good question. I'll talk about that later after I install the operator. And also there is a Service Mesh YAML, which help you to install the OpenShift Service Mesh. Again, you look at the name, it's called Service Name Operator, all in one word. So the first thing the shell script does is check whether you have cluster admin privileges. If not, it just exits and asks you to log in using an account with cluster admin privileges before rerunning the command. After I created the operator using the OC create command, I actually wait till that particular operator has completed installation before I move on to the next one. After you finish installing all the operators, you can log out and log into OpenShift again using a normal account, and then run the basic script, which actually creates a control pane in a project called istio-system. And after doing that, you have to also run the SMMR or Service Mesh member role YAML to create a member role. Notice that in here I don't include any particular projects in it, so you need to add your project to it when required. I also created a script to make it easy to install. Again, the first thing I check is that you have logged in using an account with just normal privileges. If not, it asks you to log out and log back in again. Now, let me run my script to install the Service Mesh operator and its dependent operators. Because I logged in as a normal user already, so it's asking me to log in using an account with cluster admin privileges and then rerun the command. Let me do that now. Now let me rerun the command. Now it's creating this particular subscription and waiting for the operator to get installed. First operator it is going to install is the Elasticsearch operator. Now it finished the install of that Elasticsearch operator. Now is the distributed tracing operator or Jaeger product operator. So it's still waiting for it to finish install before moving on to the next operator. Now it's installing the CLI OSSM operator. Still installing. Now, after installing all the dependent operator, it's time to install the service mesh operator. Now it has finished install. You can actually go to the OpenShift console and see that all these operators has been installed successfully. So you can see that CLI, distributed tracing, Elasticsearch, and also the service mesh. Next, I'm going to install the service mesh control plane and also the SMMR or service mesh member role. Now, because I log in using an account with cluster admin privileges, it's asking me to use another account, a normal OpenShift account. So this is what I'm going to do. Let me rerun the command. The first thing it does is to create a new project called istio-system, and then it's going to install the control plane followed by the service mesh SMMR. Now let me log in as a normal user and see how the control plane and SMMR is going. Look at all the istio service mesh control plane. So the basic has been created. And let's look at the istio service mesh member role. Default, look at the YAML. You can see that the member, there's no member in the control plane, in the member role. Next, I'm going to install an echo service, the service which I installed for the demo in MTLS last time. So first of all, check what user I've been logging into. Developer, okay. First of all, I need to create a new project called Echo. Then I'm going to use the YAML I used last time to create an echo service. So let's have a look at the port. You see that there is only one container. So what happened to the ENVOY sidecar container? Remember when we create the SMMR, we use an empty set. There is no project has been included in the SMMR. In order for it to add the automatically insert the ENVOY sidecar container, you need to change the SMMR to include the project echo. There are multiple ways to doing that. The first one is, as I showed you in the previous video, using the OpenShift console. The other way is using the command line. So just do OC-edit SMMR default. Just page down to the specs. Just add the echo project in here. Right. But if you look at OC-get port, nothing has changed, because by including the project in the SMMR, it does not automatically redeploy. So the easiest way to do that is to change the deployment YAML file a little bit. So this is what I'm going to do using command line. I'm just going to change, insert annotation called resulted AT, which does not actually affect the deployment. All it does is change the deployment YAML so that it will automatically redeploy echo. Now let's have a look at the OC-get port. Now you can see that there are two containers in the echo service. The ENVOY sidecar has been added to the port. Remember earlier when I showed you the YAML files to subscribe to a particular operator, the name, there doesn't seem to be like a consistent naming rule for all these different operators. So if you're not using the OpenShift console, how do you find out what the operators are available using the CLI? So the way to do it is as follows. First of all, you have to log in using an account with custom admin privileges. Let me just log in as one. Now I can run the command OC-get package manifest in the OpenShift marketplace namespace. If I know what I'm searching for, I can pipe it to grep, say elastic. There is the elastic search operator. So if I'm looking for CLI, I can see there are actually two. One is from Red Hat, the other is a community operator. So whenever you see this, always select the Red Hat operator. So you can find out more about the operator, what the information about that particular operator by using the command describe say CLI try again, typo. Yeah, give you lots of information regarding the operator. including the catalog source, display name, etc. All this information you can make use of, and this is how I find out about subscribe for a particular operator. And that's it for this particular video. Until next time, take care and stay safe.